ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Singh ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Gaur. All glories to the Sangha devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the Sangha devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the awake devotees, Hare Krishna. Okay, so. Aha, ich habe jetzt hier auch. I also have an English Srimad Bhagavatam. What does it mean?
Ja.
What should I? Huh?
Schon CC.
CC, oder? Okay. But how do we speak? Is our dear Sanjay Prabhu here?
Amrita. Du kannst übersetzen, ne?
Ja.
Oder nicht?
Oder Sanjay in English? Okay.
Sprichst du lieber Deutsch oder Englisch?
I don't care. I mean, I have a English Caitanya-Caritamrta. That is my favorite book, basically. But I have also my computer that's a German version.
Mach mal vor die Englisch.
Really? And you, Amrita, Madachi, you so kind translate for our dear Kishori content. Aha, Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
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 Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So, welcome for our Sri Caitanya-Caritamrta class today in the holy Dham of Simhacham Dham ki jai. So, I have the very good fortune to sit here and speak about the Sri Caitanya-Caritamrta in front of you, all exalted devotees who are serving the Lord with so much conviction and so much dedication. Especially we have here our Akila Prabhu ki jai, and following all in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And it's such a blessing because you want to hear something about Krishna, and that this makes you not ordinary people, therefore you're very extraordinary, because if all Sangadan devotees, they know if you go out on the street and try to tell anybody about Krishna, they don't want to listen. But you kindly agreed to listen, and to such a fool and rascal like me, therefore I'm asking for your blessings that I may speak something relevant for your devotional life, and that it can be just the instrument where the Divine Mercy can flow through, and drink some water. And for me, the Sri Caitanya-Caritamrta is it's the most precious gift what Srila Prabhupada gave to me. I love this book so much. I'm so much attracted to read about it. And yesterday, in the sunny afternoon, I read with Nandimukhi in front of the garage. Such a sweet blessing, such a nectar, this book. And therefore we read from the Adi Lila. This is what Advaita Simha Prabhu wrote me, Adi Lila, chapter 7, verse 15, 12. Eitina Tattva Sarvaradhya Karimani. Eitina Tattva Sarvada Karimani Chaturya Yadbhakta Tattva Aradhaka Chami. Oh, sorry, this is a wrong meter. Eitina Tattva Sarvadanya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Savaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Chaturdaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturdaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Eitina Tattva Savaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Chaturdaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Eitina Tattva Savaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Sarvaratya Karimani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Eitina Tattva Savaratya Karimani.
Eitina Tattva Savaratya Karimani.
Chaturtaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani.
Chaturdaya Bhakta Tattva Aradhaka Jani. Eitina Tattva.
Eitina Tattva.
All three of these truths.
All three of these truths.
Sava Aradhya.
Sarvaratya.
Worshipable
Worshipable
by all living entities.
by all entities.
Karimani.
Karimani.
Accepting such.
Accepting such.
Chaturdaya.
Chaturtaya.
Fourth.
Fourth.
Ye.
Ye.
Who is
Who is
Bhakta Tattva
Bhakta Tattva
in the category of devotees.
in the category of devotees.
Aradhaka.
Aradhaka.
Worshipper.
Worshipper.
Jani.
Jani.
I understand.
I understand.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Ace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The three predominators, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Prabhu, are worshipable by all living entities. And the fourth principle, Sri Gadadhar Prabhu, is to be understood as their worshipper. Purport. In his Anubhashya, Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, describing the truth about the Panchatattva, explains that we should understand that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme predominator, and that Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu are his subordinates, but are also predominators. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, and Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu are manifestations of the Supreme Lord. All of them are Vishnu Tattva, the Supreme, and are therefore worshipable by the living entities. Although the other two tattvas within the category of Pancha Tattva, namely Shakti Tattva. Who is considered to the Shakti Tattva? Yes, Gadadhara. The Shakti Tattva and the Jiva Tattva. Who's the Jiva Tattva and the Pancha Tattva? Shrivas Thakur. Represented by Gadadhara and Shrivas. You all were right. Are worshippers of the Supreme Lord. They are in the same category because they eternally engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Om Aknanadimdasya Knananshanasalakya Chakshuvamidamyena Tasmai Shigurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya-Manopistam Staplamena Putale Swayam Rupkaramayam Darati Swaparandikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the three predominators, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Prabhu, are worshipable by all living entities. And the fourth principle, Sri Gadadhara Prabhu, is to be understood as their worshipper. So this is very esoteric knowledge what we get from the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the Sri Caitanya-Caritamrta. We have to understand that this tradition is actually very, very young. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on a universal scale, he just left out of the door basically. It's only 500 years, that's not much, right? And there was not so much in between than the 6 Goswamis and then some major acharyas came. But there is not so much in between. And even in India, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is maybe known as a great saint, but to be understood as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's for Indians difficult. Because first of all, in India, you have so many incarnations, right? So many, I mean, not only incarnations, self-called incarnations and Bhagavans and so many people who claim to be God, you know. And so, well, here we have another one. We have another one of them. But therefore, this book, Caitanya-Caritamrta, is so precious because by our acharyas, this truth is revealed to us. And especially Krishnadas Kaviraj, who compiled this book, put this truth together. And when we have basically two main books who speak about the life and teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What are these two books?
Chaitanya Bhagavat.
And?
Chaitanya Caritamrta.
Yes. So if you look at the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, that is... Huh?
Chaitanya Mangal.
Just the same.
Chaitanya Mangal.
Chaitanya Mangal. I mean, there's two. Vrindavandas Thakur, he first compiled this book, what was called Chaitanya Mangal, and then he saw that Lochan Das Thakur also had a book written Chaitanya Mangal, and then he renamed his book in Chaitanya Bhagavat.
So there's three.
Yeah, but the major books for us were what speaks about the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the teachings are the Chaitanya Bhagavat and Caitanya-Caritamrta.
Right.
For all of us, for our ISKCON society, basically. And when you look at the Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, it's more, when you read it, it's more nectar from the beginning. It goes right in the life of and the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the Sri Chaitanya-Caritamrta is start quite philosophically, you know, and it's very esoteric also. What really one has to think, because first of all, Krishnadas Kaviraj in the Sri Chaitanya-Caritamrta, he establishes these truths about all these people, about the Pancha Tattva. And here we actually three: Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and Advaita. And then he goes, in this verse, he goes to the fourth principle, what comes to the what Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada defines as Shakti Tattva, Sri Gadadhar Prabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we understand it, as also is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he describes it also in two different occasions. And this is a very famous verse actually from the Srimad Bhagavatam, and it has a famous name, especially for us in Sumatra. How is this verse called? It starts with A. Atma. The Atma Ram verses. The Atma Ram verse. Where it's basically said that the Lord, He is self-sufficient in Himself. He doesn't need anything. The Lord in His original position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the first, the Adi Purusha, is completely Atma Ram. He is satisfied in Himself. But for the sake of pastimes, He separated Himself as Krishna and as Radharani, as Vishnu Tattva, and He separated the Tattva what is fulfilled by Radharani with exchange. Now we have also now here part of the Vishnu Tattva in one expansion of the first Vasudev is of course Sankarshan, or in this principle it is who? Nityananda. So Nityananda, or the first Sankarshan, is also understood as the Guru principle, or as the yeah, that's the name, Shakti, Adaya Shakti, as the principle what provides everything. So this is what Guru does. He provides. He gives us the facility to serve. He expands into for example, the bed of the Lord. What else? Who else is an expansion of Nityananda, of Balaram? Midanga, the singer from the altar. The Pramana thread.
The ornaments.
Ornaments. Shoes. Basically everything.
Also prasadam in the spiritual world.
Huh?
Prasadam in the spiritual world.
It's also Balaram. Yeah. Basically Balaram, or Nityananda, he expands himself in everything, even in the cooking pots. But then the question is, what to do with these cooking pots? What to do with all of this paraphernalia? And then the aspect of the Shakti Tattva, or here as Gadadhar. Who's Gadadhar in Krishna Lila? Srimati Radharani. So then Radharani comes in and she fills this with rasa. So Balaram, he supplies you could say, the tattva, while Radharani then fills it up with rasa. And in this way, this is a very nice combination of service. So when we look at the personality of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the beginning of the creation, or the beginning of the universes, he separated himself into this different energies. Although he was one, he separated himself. And now, in the form as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he again becomes one person. he again takes all these energies inside and becomes the Panchatattva, and the head of the Panchatattva is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he goes back into this Atmaram stage. So therefore one could say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is this Adi Purusha that was there from the beginning, completely satisfied in himself, Atmaram. And this is of course, this has to be understood, and therefore Krishna's Kavaraji gives us all this knowledge in the beginning, before he starts to go into pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda and Advaita, who all considered to be Vishnu Tattva, who is the oldest of all of them? Advaita, yes. So Advaita appeared in this material world as the first one. And then who's the second oldest? Nityananda. And then the youngest is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Huh? Yeshivas, he is younger than Advaita, but older than Nityananda.
Older.
Yeah. So they all appear actually before the Lord. All these categories appear before the Lord. Shri Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Shingadev Ki Jai. To set the scene. And then we have here, what was the reason that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then appeared?
Six reasons.
Huh?
6 reasons.
Okay, what are the 6 reasons?
3 outside, 3 inside.
Okay, what are the 3 inside?
2 is a third.
Okay, so there are basically two main reasons. There's the external reason, is what?
To spread the chanting of the holy name.
Yes, exactly. To bring the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy name. Okay, you can stop. Maybe your voice comforts her too much.
Das ist immer auf und zu.
Hab ich nicht schon können. Schön, dass du hier bist. Yeah. Sorry, I try to be a little bit more choosy in my explanations that maybe things are getting off. So yeah, to spread the Yuga Dharma of the Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name. And the internal reason is then what?
To experience the love that Srimati Radharani has for Krishna.
Yes, to experience the love of Srimati Radharani, and in this way, in this 2 ways together, he actually opened the pathway to Goloka Dham. This was not. That's completely new. That's completely new. Only since 500 years in this time circle is it possible to go directly to Goloka Dham in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And but what was the initial point where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared? Huh? Advaita Acharya, yes, right. Advaita Acharya, he called for him. He said, I should be not called Acharya, what to speak Advaita Acharya, if I not be able to bring the Lord here. Because Advaita Acharya, he saw that everybody else, especially in the area from Navadvip, they didn't have any idea about the truth, about the conclusion of the scriptures, that Sri Krishna Bhagavan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? And they were most of them in this time, they were worshippers of Shakti Tattva. And not like we do, that we worship Radharani. No, they worship the complete cross-material form of Shakti, meaning Doka. And to worship Doka, one very efficient way is to engage in tantric worship, where you can really manipulate matter. So this was kind of the practice in Navadvip in this time. And Navadvip was very important, like a very important city for studies, a center for education. So in Advaita Acharya, he had these courses on the Bhagavad Gita every day, and nobody was interested. Nobody came because he pointed out that this is all about Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he could see this tendency. And therefore, he said, the Lord has come, because when the Lord don't come, these people are doomed. This is Kali Yuga. We down in Kali Yuga. If there's no hope. I mean, previously people they could do yagyas, they could do temple worship, they could do meditation. But in Kali Yuga, what can they do? This Kali Yuga is completely inauspicious. So we have to bring some auspiciousness into the Kali Yuga, right? And therefore he sat down and worshipped this Shalagam Shila with Gangavasa and Tulsi Mancharis. And then he called for the Lord. And he said in Chaitanya Mangal that Krishna and Balaram, they were they were asleep, they were kind of in a slumber. No, they were not in a slumber, they were intoxicated. Balaram was rolling with his eyes, completely intoxicated by Varuni. Who knows what is Varuni? We had it some days ago, right? We forgot to serve it out on Balaram appearance day, so we had it next day.
Yogurt and honey.
It's yogurt and honey, and standing for a while, or has to ferment. No. No, but it's very sweet. And Balaram likes to drink that. And they are intoxicated. And then they hear the call of Advaita Acharya. And therefore they said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nitai, you have to come with me. Nityananda, you have to come with me. You have to appear in the world. And so Nityananda Prabhu appears. And then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu takes birth. So Advaita Acharya, he called him. And he knew something auspicious will happen, because on the day of Gopunim, what happened on the day of Gopunim?
Moon eclipse.
Moon eclipse, yeah. And then what the people did when there was a moon eclipse?
Everybody chants.
Huh?
Everybody chants.
Yeah, everybody chant, but where did they chant?
In the water.
In the Ganga. They went to the Ganga and chanted in the Ganga. And Advaita Acharya was going into the Ganga together with whom?
Shalagram?
Srivas Thakur. No, Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur. And they were chanting, and they heard all the people chanting. Even the Muslims were chanting. They were imitating them. So, now all the Hindus, they're chanting Ram, Ram, Ram. And something, what was the meaning of Ram?
Hari means I steal.
Or something, yeah, they said Hari, Hari. Now they're chanting I steal, I steal. And they imitated them and say, all the Hindus, they're chanting Hari, Hari. So everybody was chanting Hari, Hari!
Hari,
Hari, Hari! So this was such an auspicious sound that Advaita Acharya, I thought, this is something is happening at this moment. But still, it was not clear for Advaita Acharya what was happened, or what appeared. His wife, Sita Thakurani, she heard that there was a very auspicious birth. Under a neem tree, a little boy was born. So she went there with special offerings to this home of whom? And Jagannath Mishra. Jagannath Mishra and his wife Sachi, they gave birth to a very, very auspicious little child. And it said that this child was way to stop it from crying is to chant Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, and then this child would stop crying. So I thought this is very auspicious. And so Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita Acharya, went there to make offerings to this child. And this child had, what was the name of? Actually, Sita Thakurani said, this child was born under a neem tree, so his name should be Nimai. Right?
That was Nilamba. He gave
Oh.
the name.
Yeah, but he gave the name Vishwambhava.
Well, he still said because it's on the neon tree and so on, he gave all the names.
Ah, good.
Because,
Okay.
his
So-
official name and his child name would be Nimai because of that.
Okay. So, and then the Vishwambhava, that was the official name from Nilamba, he had a product, a bigger product. What was his name? Vishwarup. And Vishwarup is actually in the same category like Nityananda, like the older product. Right? And Vishwarup, he was a very pious soul as well. He was not interested in anything mundane. So the only thing what he did was he was trying to listen to Hari Katha, like Prahlad Maharaj on our altar. And he found out about this elderly gentleman giving Bhagavad Gita classes. So he went every day to Advaita Acharya and had discourses with him. And Advaita Acharya, he was very astonished because this Vishwarup, this elderly son of Jagannath Mishra, he always had good realizations and comments and questions. So he was astonished, who is that? And then one day, Mother Sachi told little Nimai, Vishwambhava, said, Vishwambhava, Nimai, you go to this Advaita Acharya and call your brother Vishwarup, call him home. I prepared something to eat, lunch or dinner. So then when Nimai came to the house of Advaita Acharya was immediately stunned for who is that fortunate little boy? He is so attractive, who is that? And this was actually the first meeting with Advaita Acharya and little Nimai. And so during the whole life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed a very special relationship with Advaita Acharya, because Advaita Acharya, of course, was senior and Nimai was junior. So Nimai was always very, very respectful to Advaita Acharya, but with the time, especially after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was grown up or was in his youth, and one thing happened when he became a teenager. What happened when he became a teenager? A very tragic happening was there for Nimai.
His father died.
Yes, his father died. So Nimai had to go to Gaya to perform the Shraddha ceremony. When somebody is departed from your family, actually you go to Gaya. This is a place in India. Actually, it's the same Gaya where Buddha got his realization on the tree. Somebody know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Huh? You went there? You went there, Dave?
Only from the train station.
Aha. So you didn't see this super footprint. Oh, yeah. So if you go there, you offer oblations to your ancestors. And Nimai did this to offer oblations to his departed father. And when he was there, what else happened there?
Many things.
He met Ishwarapur.
Yes, he met Ishwara Puri. And Ishwara Puri happened to be what?
Santikari.
Huh?
But devotee of Krishna.
Yeah, but in which line he appeared?
Follower of Madhavendra Puri.
Yes.
Disciple of Madhavendra Puri.
Yes, exactly, Akil Prabhu. He was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri. And Madhavendra Puri, and this is another mysterious thing, he was the one, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the blessing that he got prem, that he has already this prem bhakti, this Braj bhakti, is already in Madhavendra Puri. So he installed it in Madhavendra Puri, and through the connection of Ishwara Puri, he got this prem bhakti back to him. And when he was in Gaya, he met Ishwara Puri actually for the second time, because he met him already once in Navadvip. As he met him for a second time, he cooked rice for him, and he made offerings for him, and he really wanted to serve Ishwara Puri. Because he could understand that he is an exalted personality. Because Ishwara Puri, he got special blessings from Madhavendra Puri. Because Madhavendra Puri, there were, in the end of his life, there were two disciples around him. One was Ishwara Puri, who knows who was the other one?
Ramachandra.
Ramachandra Puri, yeah. And Ramachandra Puri, when Madhavendra Puri gave up his life, Ramachandra Puri, he said to Madhavendra Puri, Gurudev, you know, why are you chanting now Radhe Radhe and you know, about Krishna? Just concentrate your mind on the absolute. Basically on the how you say? Unpersonal aspect of the Lord. And Madhavendra Puri became furious. And he said, you fool. Huh?
Different. Why are you chanting Gopi name? Why are you chanting you should chant Krishna's name. Nothing personal.
Aha, okay.
Yeah.
So he said, but
you should be happy. Why you're so unhappy? You be happy,
yeah.
Chant Krishna's name.
Be happy and don't go in this feelings of the gopis. Go in the feelings of Krishna, who's Atmaram, who's happy. And Madhavendra Puri became very, very angry with him, very unsteady, and he said, in the end of my life, this fool has come to me. This is because of my bad fortune, of my sinful activities. And he basically sent him away, that he don't remind him that he don't distract his meditation on the Gopi Bhav. On the other hand, there was Ishwara Puri, and he humbly served Madhavendra Puri to the end of his life. Now when a body gets to the stage where he actually is completely useless, meaning when he's dying, all the functions in the body doesn't work so well anymore. So one has to clean this person several times a day and turn him around and empty or clean his back. And so this service was all done by Ishwara Puri, and therefore Madhavendra Puri gave Ishwara Puri the blessings of this Radha or this Gopi Bhav, of this ecstatic feelings of the gopis. So in this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could recognize this Ishwara Puri, although he was a very humble sannyasi, he didn't make a big show or anything of it. He was not recognized by many people. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that this person is special. So he asked him for initiation. And he asked him, so what should I do? Should I study? What should I study? And Ishwara Puri said, nah, you fool. Just chant Hare Krishna. Right? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he started to chant Hare Krishna. And after a while he became so ecstatic that he went back to his guru and said, what is it? What did you give me? I'm becoming mad. How is that? How is that I become mad by chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? And Ishwara Puri said, you just continue chant, that's all. And when he came then back from Gaya to Navadvip, he was a complete different person. And he became actually a Vaishnava. And before Nimai, he was just a very learned scholar. and he made fun of all the Vaishnavas who were there at this time, like Advaita-acharya, Srivas Thakur, and Gadadhar. Gadadhar actually was a classmate of him, and he made fun out of them, and he kind of said, you know, you're just sentimentalists. You're just sitting around the whole day chanting Hare Krishna, don't do anything, and what to speak having any conclusion about scriptural arguments. So who can debate with you? I can defeat you. And when he came back, and all the Vaishnavas, they thought, why he's such a fortunate young person. Actually, he's a devotee. He must be a devotee. Please, Lord, give him the blessings that he becomes a devotee. Huh? And one time he saw Gadadhar walking on the street and said, "Hey Gadadhar, come here. I wanna argue with you." And Gadadhar went on the other side. He kind of escaped, and Mahaprabhu said, I will become the greatest of all Vaishnavas. He said it half jokingly. So, but then with the blessings of the Vaishnavas, he came back from Gaya and he was completely transformed. He was a Vaishnava at this point. And so when he came in the association of all these seniors, like Advaita-acharya as well, they understood something happened to Nimai Pandit. And he was leading them in chanting, and they were then meeting regularly in the house of Srivas Pandit, and had Harinam Sankirtan the whole night, and many incidences appeared there. And basically, Advaita-acharya always, when he always came in the assembly where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, Mahaprabhu was very respectful. And Advaita-acharya, he understood this person is actually somebody very special. Actually, according to astrological calculations and realization, he must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I better bring my obeisances to him. So Advaita-acharya was worshipping this young man. And Mahaprabhu, he was not very satisfied. He said, no, I worship you, because who was Advaita-acharya? He was disciple of whom? Also Madhavendra Puri. So Advaita-acharya, he actually thought, Mahaprabhu thought, he is on the level of my Gurudev, of my Param Guru. Yeah, no, of my Gurudev, because they have the same Param Guru. It's like some days ago we had Rup Sanatan here, this Prabhu from Radhadesh, and he actually is a disciple of whom? Of Chayadvaita Swami. So technically, all the disciples of Kalamakana Swami should bring him obeisances to him, because he is a disciple of Chayadvaita Swami. So he would be technically on the stage of Kalamakana Swami. So you all should go to him and make obeisances to him. I mean, from a technical point of view. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made obeisances to Advaita-acharya. And Advaita-acharya, he thought, that's not really right. Right? He cannot be respectful. He has to chastise me. And sometimes when Mahaprabhu chastised somebody, Advaita-acharya was, you're so fortunate. You're so fortunate, because I don't get this fortune. The Lord thinks I'm special. So I have to make a plan. I have to make a trick. So Advaita-acharya, he started to preach at his home from Yoga Vashishta. And Yoga Vashishta is a yoga, yoga's, you know, this, she finds this very offensive to even speak this name. And after a while, Mahaprabhu said to the other devotees, said, aha, what happened, by the way, what became out of Advaita Acharya? I didn't see him for a long time. And the devotees were a little bit, they're scratching the ground with the toes, not really sure what to say. And then one devotee said, well, he's giving lectures now. He gives lectures. About what? Well, you know this book, Yoga Vasishta? So he speaks about this. What? Yeah, actually, Advaita Acharya speaks about impersonal realization. And Mahaprabhu said, are you joking? Advaita Acharya speaks about impersonal realizations. Yes. So Mahaprabhu said, I have to go there. And he went there completely furious and enraged. And he went to the house of Advaita Acharya and he screamed from the outside, Advaita! Get out! Come out here of the house! And Advaita came out and said, yeah, what you want? And Mahaprabhu immediately started to punch him and to kick him. Sorry. Too dramatic. And started to punch him and to kick him and to beat him on the floor. And he was a young, strong man. I mean, if we hear the descriptions of the bodily features of Mahaprabhu, that's extraordinary. We can understand that he was not, not how to say, skinny puppy. You know, he was strong. So Advaita Acharya was old man. And then Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita Acharya, she came out of the house and was holding Mahaprabhu and said, stop it, you're beating him to death. And then Mahaprabhu kind of realized and he went out of his rage, he left and sat down. And Advaita Acharya, he was so happy. He was laughing and said, finally, I got the blessing that you treat me as your dog. Finally, I got the blessings. You know, my goodness. Only for this, he made this trick. Reingefallen, yeah. Reingefallen. I got you. Huh? So this is a very special pastime. And there's another very special pastime of Advaita Acharya, what occurred on the time that is Mahaprakash Lila. Who knows what is Mahaprakash Lila of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? One day they were in the house of Sriva Sankar and they took the seat where the Shalagram Shila is sitting. They took the Shalagram Shila down and they said to Mahaprabhu, take a seat. Nityananda said, take a seat. And Mahaprabhu was sitting on the seat, Simhasan of the Shalagram Shila. And when he was sitting down, he made a cracking sound. And then Nityananda held an umbrella over Mahaprabhu. And in this mood, everybody could realize that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Mahaprabhu said, so now everybody come forward and ask for blessings. So, and some devotees came forward, like Haridas came forward, and Haridas said, let me have the blessing that I be always in the association of devotees who have your Mahaprasada. Let me always, and even if I'm an insect, let me always be there where Mahaprasadam is on the floor. And then Mahaprabhu said, Srivas, are you remembering? He said, what? Are you remembering the 24 marketplaces? Yes. Huh? Haridas. Oh, what is it? Shivas, okay. No. Haridas Thakur. Do you remember the 24 marketplaces? And Haridas said, yes. I was beaten there over 24 marketplaces from the Muslim rulers because I actually am a Muslim and I gave up my religion to take this Hindu religion, this chanting of the holy name. So they beat me over 24 marketplaces with whips, with sticks. And Mahaprabhu said, do you have any marks on your back from this? And Harita said, no. And then Mahaprabhu turned around and showed his back. And there were all the marks of the slashes, of the beating, of the whips. He said, because I covered you in this time, I put myself around you, that you are not hurt. And then Advaita Acharya asked for blessings. And Mahaprabhu said, do you remember this one time there was a very philosophical discussion and you could not give a proper explanation of the Bhagavad Gita, of this one particular verse? And then the night he dreamed about the explanations. And Advaita said, how you know? And Mahaprabhu said, because I gave you this realization. And there was many such incidences where Mahaprabhu revealed how he took care of his devotees. Now, they asked for many people. Then Mukunda came and they said, Mukunda didn't get any blessing. And Mahaprabhu said, no, I don't want to give Mukunda any blessings. He said, but he's a dear singer, he's one of your best devotees. No, actually, Mukunda, he goes everywhere. He goes to Mayavadis, he comes here to Shiva Sangam, he speaks everywhere like they want to hear it, just to get the favor. So Mukunda is very duplicious. I will not give him any favor. And they went out and Mukunda said, you don't get the favor of the Lord. And Mukunda became said, oh my goodness, I'm not allowed in the association of Mahaprabhu anymore? No. But ask Mahaprabhu how long he will keep me away. And they went back to Mahaprabhu and said, how long you will keep Mukunda out of your association? He said, for 100,000 births. And he went to Mukunda and said, you're not allowed to be in the association for 100,000 births. And Mukunda became so happy. And he said, finally, after 100,000 births, I will be back in the association of Mahaprabhu. And he said, and they came back to Mahaprabhu and said, he's freaking out, he's dancing, he becomes ecstatic, because after 100,000 births, he will be back in your association. And Mahaprabhu said, this is my Mukunda, this is my Mukunda, now he's cleansed of all his offenses. Bring him in, bring him in! Huh? And then they said, who else didn't get any blessings? And they said, oh, Mother Sachi, your mother didn't got any blessings. And Mahaprabhu said, no, she will not get any blessing. He said, but why? She's your mother. She's the mother of the universe. No, not she. Why not? She's an offender. Your mother is an offender? Yes. She offended Advaita Acharya. Huh? How is that? How can Mother Sachi offend Advaita Acharya? Well, in the time when Vishwarup took sannyas, his elderly brother, took sannyas, Mother Sachi was so upset because she said it's all because Vishwarup always goes to this Advaita Acharya. And when he's in the house of Advaita Acharya, he convinces him to take sannyas, to leave his family, to leave his old widow mother. So his name is not Advaita, one meaning. His name is Dvaita. He's duplicious. He speaks in one way and speaks in another way. He convinced Vishwarup to go and take sannyas. And Mahaprabhu said this was an offense. So therefore she cannot get the blessing or any benediction from me. Yeah, but come on, she's a mother. Is there no way out? There is a way out. Only if she take the dust of the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. So they went to Advaita Acharya and said, please, please, give the dust of your lotus feet to Mother Sachi. So, you know, if somebody comes to you and says, Sanjay Prabhu, I need some dust from your lotus feet to put on the head of Radharani, what you would say?
I have no idea.
Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu.
I cannot think about that.
Huh?
I cannot even think about
You
that.
even cannot think about it. Same Advaita Acharya said, what? She's the mother of the universe. How can I put my dust on her head? That's completely impossible. I will never ever do that. You know, I will go to hell, I don't care. I will not do that. Huh? And then they asked Advaita Acharya, why you don't give the dust to Mother Sachi? And I forgot a piece. Advaita Acharya became ecstatic.
Yeah, they made him ecstatic and faint. And
Yeah,
then-
but how they made him ecstatic?
I don't remember. But they made him ecstatic and then
They
they
made him
brought...
ecstatic. He fainted and fall unconscious on the floor. And then they said to Mother Sachi, now, go for his feet. And she went to his feet and put the dust on her head. And she fainted and became unconscious. And everybody was, Haribol! Haribol! Huh? This is the, I think he became unconscious because he was thinking like Sanjay. He could not even think about it and he became unconscious. So this is the glories of Advaita Acharya. And as we just to wind up the class, as Advaita Acharya, he called for the Lord. Now there was an accident in the end in Jagannath Puri where the devotees they sent, or Jagannath, he wanted to go to Navadvip again. He wanted to see the Ganga, wanted to see Mother Sachi and bring her Mahaprasada. And so Mahaprabhu, in this time he had already sannyas, he said to Jagannath Pandit, said, if you go there, please give Mahaprasada to my mother, please give my greetings to my mother, and go to the house of Advaita Acharya and give him Mahaprasada. And now I just look if I find this part. I don't think so that I find so quickly. And then Jagannath, he went to Mayapur, went to the house, to Shantipur actually, to the house of Advaita Acharya, and he gave the Mahaprasad to Advaita Acharya, and he asked Advaita Acharya, do you have any message for Mahaprabhu? And and then Advaita Acharya, he said, yes, I have a message. Tell this to Mahaprabhu. And when he heard this message, Jagannath Pandit, he was laughing. And he went back to Jagannath Puri. And when he came to the devotees in Jagannath Puri, they were asking, how's everybody in Navadvip? Yeah, everybody's fine. And Mother Sachi sent her blessings and your greetings. And did you see Advaita Acharya? Yes. What did Advaita Acharya say? Well, he actually gave a message. What was this message? And Jagadananda, he replied the message of Advaita Acharya. And the message was, tell that rice is not longer in demand in the marketplace. There's sufficient rice now in the marketplace. And tell the madman that everybody now is mad as he is. And everybody was, what? And Mahaprabhu said, so this is order. And the Buddha said, what do you mean? What Ramananda said, what is Ramananda Rai said, what does he mean? And Damodar Pandit became very morose because he understood. And Mahaprabhu said, well, Advaita Acharya, he is a perfect devotee. He knows how to install a deity. He worships this deity. And when this deity is not longer needed, he sends this deity away. So Mahaprabhu understood that the marketplaces is not in demand of rice anymore. So there's enough. What was missing on the marketplaces, why Advaita Acharya was calling for him, was that there was no way out, back out of this material world, out of this Kali Yuga. So this is not there anymore. Now we have a way out. Huh? And the madman, meaning Mahaprabhu, now everybody is mad like him. So everybody has this ecstatic love now. So meaning his business is over. This was the message from Advaita Acharya. And therefore Mahaprabhu said, he is installing a deity, meaning he installed Mahaprabhu in this world. And he worships him. And when the worship is over, he sends him away. You know, like pujaris, they know how to install a deity in water or in fire. And when the worship is over, then they send this deity out of the fire. So this was the release of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again from this world, done by Advaita Acharya. So this is the glories of these personalities. And the more we understand the secrets of the Caitanya-Caritamrta and the secrets of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we really can absorb ourselves in this tradition, what we got, and we really can see how we linked in by Srila Prabhupada. And we can see that we are still in this lineage. And if we look, the Caitanya-Caritamrta has not a real ending. It's not some kind of conclusion, right? Because there was a big book distributor in Germany. His name was Ramananda, and he gave, unfortunately, gave up his body unfortunately for us, some years ago. Not so long, maybe 2 years ago, or maybe 1 year ago. 1 year ago only. No, I think it was last year.
It was last year.
I'm not sure, maybe 2. He gave up his body, but he always said, it was one thing, Govinda, if you remember what he always said about the Caitanya-Caritamrta? It's not over. It's not over. We're still part of it. We're still part of the Caitanya-Caritamrta. It's still written. You know, and we have Prabhupada Lilamrita, right? It's still part, it still goes on the Caitanya-Caritamrta. When we still part of this. You know, so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada writing books about their realizations and the life of Srila Prabhupada, and probably our generation, they will write the books, and they will write, maybe would be nice to have a book, you know, about the German yatra, what we have already, some sort, but something what we can continue, and that will be continued. This pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu still going on. And we are in it. We are right there. We are right there. When His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami gave up his body in his last stages, he was still a baby here now. He was, Radhanath Swami was hit with him. And then at one point, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, he called out, he said, "We are there! We are there! Maharaj, we are there!" And Radhanath Swami, where we are. I said, "We are there, we in the Caitanya-Caritamrta, we living, we enter the pastimes of Mahaprabhu." And this is where our focus has to be on. We want to enter the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, because otherwise we enter the pastimes of Mahamaya, Prabhu. Huh? We want to enter the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And therefore we are here, therefore we are training, therefore we are taking such a lifestyle. We want to be part of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And therefore we can be so grateful to Srila Prabhupada and the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, like our Akila Prabhu, who carried on this message. And now it's our duty to carry on making our steps, to carry on this message to the next generation. So it's important. It's not only for us, it's for the whole mankind. So, speaking big words, it's 9 o'clock. I'm sorry if I spoke too long. Sorry if not everything was maybe accurate or correct. But this is how I try to remember the Lord and share my remembrance with all of you. And I know I'm not at all perfect or come very close to this great personalities described in the Caitanya-Caritamrta, what to speak. Can compare myself with most of you. But with your blessings and with your good wishes, I may become one day suitable to really serve you, not out of pride, but out of really humility. And with your blessings, I can cultivate this humility. So thank you very much. Please let me be in your association, because without your association, I'm a hopeless case. I will fall where I came back from. It's a long way back from hell. And I don't want to go again. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So, Vito Prabhu, you raised your hand quickly.
Yes, thank you for this wonderful lecture, Ramananda Prabhu. And I have the question, how can we be part of the pastime when we are in the here and now?
Then what?
I don't get it really. How we can be part of the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when we are in the here and now, creating something new.
What new to be created?
It's a new time, we are new people. I don't really get the point how we can be part of the pastime. I don't really.
Because the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, they're going on and on and on. And actually, Nitya, I mean, everybody left, and where the lineage was continued was actually through Nityananda Prabhu, not through him, but through his wife, Chana, the mother. And she kind of was the first acharya who carried this teaching on to great personalities like Narottam Das Thakur and Srinivasa Acharya. And then they made the first Gopunim festival. And they were chanting so ecstatically that the Panchatattva appeared in the midst. They could see the Panchatattva was there. So Mahaprabhu, it's not that they're not there anymore. They are here. When one of my most favorite songs is the lamentation song of how's it called? Yenadino Premadam. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know it by heart, but when I read the meaning, and this is kind of really cracking my heart, because this is the separation what we feel, but actually in this separation we have very, very much closeness with all of these personalities, and we are carrying on with the mission. So Mahaprabhu is still here, and there's only one avatar. Although we have Nrsimhadev here on the altar, but there's only one avatar. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is here in his form as Nrsimhadev, taking care of all of us. So this is Mahaprabhu. It's nobody else. So how we can say we're not part of it? We are directly there. We in the family of Mahaprabhu.
I mean, also from the point that we continue the story, that we go on.
Yeah, we continue the story.
He's here at the moment.
Yeah, he comes. The more we chant ecstatically, like in this first Gopal festival, we should actually, in every kirtan, even if you don't sing kirtan, even if you sing bhajan, even if you just chant for ourselves, we should chant like that the Panchatattva appears amidst us. Even the Bible says, if two come together in my name, I will be present there. So, we should chant that Nrsingadev becomes alive. He is alive, but alive for us. That this becomes our reality. That this Caitanya-Caritamrta becomes our reality. The Bhagavatam becomes our reality. And not all this COVID and stuff around. That's not our reality. We want to enter in this reality. It's a matrix. It's, if they link us in their matrix of COVID and pollution and what all this stuff, that's their matrix. With this they bind us, but we have to enter in this matrix. We wanna link, we wanna be bind in the Caitanya-Caritamrta. We wanna be bind in Bhagavatam. This is our reality.
So we can choose to be in that reality.
Yeah, sure. We have to choose. Therefore we have a free will.
I remember two statements by Srila Prabhupada. Once is that wherever Sunday feast is going on, there Caitanya-Caritamrta Sunday feast. And also Prabhupada said that when we go to the street with his books to distribute them, we don't go to meet the people. We go to meet Caitanya-Caritamrta.
Yes. So that's our goal. Sanjay.
I have one more question. Is it allowed?
Huh?
Is it allowed?
I don't mind.
Okay, I also don't know.
No, I want to go.
So you spoke about offering obeisances and mentioned the example of Rupa Sanatana Prabhu. And I remember that when he came here, I met him when he and his family, they were taking prasadam in the prasadam. And so I didn't offer obeisances. So, because I thought he will be disturbed with this. So, and I see this as a general thing that we want to offer obeisances, and I see two things. One is, it's actually impractical, and the other thing is that the behavior of the devotee who we want to offer obeisances to, it discourages us from doing so, because he will be like, what are you doing, and things like this. And I feel that there's so many things to learn about how to apply the science properly. I'm hearing it so many times in the last few days and weeks also. Prabhu is often mentioned. In earlier days, the devotees, they would offer obeisances to each other regularly, and somehow we lost this culture. So I'm just thinking, what can we do to get back to a higher standard of offering obeisances to each other?
Well, I mean, there are different ways of offering obeisances. It has to be. I personally feel, when I go to Akila Prabhu and say, please offer my humble obeisance, and fly in the, takes him, takes him 3 minutes to get down, and then I'm up again. It takes him 5 minutes. I'm accelerating now. I feel also kind of uncomfortable.
Yes.
So, but
we should hold him. He cannot offer.
Yeah.
we can hold him, and he cannot offer. He has to just accept.
No, but this is also the sweetness of the other side as well. They also want to offer the obeisances. And sometimes I say, we have this one devotee. Don't want to mention his name now, but he is living also there in the ashram, mostly on Sankirtan. He can Prabhu my obeisances, and all the time. And many times when I have something in my hand, whatever, and it's not practical. Please not yet. Just give me a hug. It doesn't have to be, because sometimes it's also, when devotees offer obeisances, Srila Prabhu, they come in, lay in front of the, then actually, some devotees make it. Joy. Would you do that when Prabhupada would sit here?
He is sitting.
consciousness that he's sitting there, you know, okay, I make my obeisances, but you know, at least spend a while and you know, say something or offer a prayer to Prabhupada. Recognize that he's here, not just walk away. You know, you can make also outside. You know, can lay also, you know, wherever. So there are different levels of obeisance. And
Yes.
if one is just, if it's genuine, that two devotees see automatically they offer obeisances. You know, this like automatically because there's love. And this is what sometimes is missing.
Yes.
So an obeisance can be also, if I meet a good friend or whatever, maybe make obeisances, and then we hug each other. You know, of course, and then the other person doesn't like. You even see in these old movies like this Nilchan Mahaprabhu. You know, when Mahaprabhu comes to some elderly person and make his obeisance, and want to touch your feet, and you know, they kind of take him up again. Like, you know, this is why, this is something what I think, yeah, we can, maybe we can cultivate, I don't know, Govinda Dev, what is your opinion? But I think there must be genuine feeling behind it.
So you would say that?
Yeah, I really like your example that sometimes you just pay mechanical obeisances to Prabhupada and you just walk away. So it just becomes a mechanical, you know, polite way to greet somebody. Then it might not fulfill the purpose, but in general it's good to offer obeisance that at least, like if you haven't seen each other for some time, and you see each other again, actually we should offer obeisances to each other.
When there's love and affection, I mean, when I see somebody I didn't see for a long time and really admire, you know, so I offer obeisances. You know, both do, you know, there's not, whatever, you know, it's kind of natural thing. It's very natural. And then you give you a hug afterwards. Or?
Sometimes you forget, like there's this really nice example of this temple president in Australia. He was really young, I think he was 19 or something. Prabhupada came for the first time to Australia in the airport. And he was so happy to see Prabhupada, so he ran and hugged him. And then, I have to pay obeisance. So it should be like that, you know, you're very happy to see them and you can always still offer obeisance afterwards.
Actually, I mean, as doing Gurukul, this is something according to Ayurveda, because when Guruji comes in and we on the floor, but actually in Gurukul, when the Guru comes in, everybody stands up first. Because the life air is when you see somebody who's very dear to you, or somebody that, you know, your life air goes up. What? You see somebody and he comes in, you know, your life air goes up.
Not like you sit like this and like.
Yeah.
You go back here.
Yeah. So you Gurudev, I'm Gurudev. You know, it's automatically you stand. It's kind of, and it's the life air, because the life air is so agitated, it goes up. And when you don't stand up, you don't catch you lose your life air. It's going out. So first of all, they're standing up. And then come in, and then they say some greetings, some words, and then they offer obeisance. I mean, this is how they teach it in Gurukul. But it's a natural thing, you know. You see somebody you didn't see for a long time, so you have to you raise up.
That's a nice point.
And it's the same when Tulsi comes in. Actually, we should stand up out of respect. You know, when the wedding, the bride comes in, everybody stands up. When Tulsi comes in, it's all what trains our consciousness. And I don't say I'm good in this or whatever. I don't want to be example. I just share what I heard.
Well, there's two important points which I think have to be taken apart. Who was that? One of the Goswamis, he was offering 1,000 obeisances to the wife. Raghunath?
Yes,
Yeah.
2,000.
Yeah. So that means don't have to be expecting to do some other person the same exact way. So one part is what is your attitude, and you can do that obeisance as a service. And even more, many times it's here that somebody saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they offered obeisances from far away. You don't have to be like in front of you. Okay, just see, I appreciate you. So in front of you, it's like if Maharaj comes out of there, you don't go run to him and offer obeisances. Where you stand, maybe you stand somewhere there, you still offer obeisances. So other point, of course, is reciprocation. For example, if deities are eating or sleeping, you're not supposed to be offering obeisances because you have to be allowing a person to reciprocate. So there's 2 points which have to be taken in consideration and also balanced. So that front of view, you are humble and you offer obeisances, not like you, okay, I offer obeisances, he didn't. So what's the point, you know? What's the use, you know? I waste my obeisances. You know? It's not the point, right?
Such an offender.
Yeah, it's such a offender. You know, it has to be reciprocation. Otherwise, you have to regain the culture. You know, I'm following culture. He's not following culture. What's the culture? It's not culture.
That's true.
So that's the point. Of course, reciprocation should be there, but the person can reciprocate in the way he wants. So even Krishna once offered obeisances. They were in chariots, and who was Yudhishthira? And Krishna ran, and he offered the first obeisances to Yudhishthira. So, and because he's elder, many times the elder person is not putting obeisances back. You know, Akila Prabhu is a special case. He always does that, although takes 5 minutes. But it's not necessary. So if you are trying, as you said, if you try obeisances, they rise you up. Such a way, you from your side, you show your respect. But elder person, he said, no need.
Yeah, there's no need with it.
No, it's okay.
Yes, that's a very good point. Sometimes the wood is eating prasadam and somebody comes in and it's a humble base and your plate is in front of you. Why should you?
Yeah, during prasadam, during sleep, it's actually not necessary. It's not good etiquette to do that.
Yeah.
I've been taught as a pujari, when the Lord is sleeping or eating, you don't offer obeisances.
Because in Caitanya-Caritamrta very often they say, for example, oh, Mahaprabhu, there's Ramananda Goswami offering his obeisances.
Yeah.
So he didn't seem, of course, Rupa Goswami, he was outside the door. He offered us obeisances, and then the words came in and said, outside is Rupa Goswami offering his obeisances. So it doesn't mean offering obeisances, you have to, hello, everybody, have you got attention? Okay. So, because actually it said when you see your guru, you should first, you put your obeisances when you see him. And when he sees you, you should make obeisances again. So, if there's an assembly of devotees and you really admire them and think, wow, they're special people. They're devotees, they're sitting there eating prasadam. Let me offer my obeisances to them outside, before I enter the room. Of course, then the other devotees, they should then also not think, oh, what is he? He comes in and don't offer obeisances to us or whatever. Anyway, I think we understood the point. I thank you very much. I'm sorry for running over time, but you saw precious association, and one should not do it in front of the deities. Somebody told me, Kill Prabhu, but I really like all of you, and I think you're a very special family. Sorry that I yelled too loud at your daughter. Came just out of me. And
Charlie said already, be careful, Ramananda sometimes shouts.
She really said it.
Yeah, she gets scared easily.
So, in my heart, in front of the Singade, I wish all of you.
Not this one.
So not sure. Not that everyone.
Ramananda Prabhu ki.
Actually, you're representing Veda Vyas, so from that point